What do you do when your image is squeaky clean? Your fans adore you, but the people around you start dragging you down. Sophie Manassyan, teen dance prodigy turned social media star, seems to have made one of the smartest moves in her career. And she didn't say a single word about it. But what she didn't say is exactly what's blowing up the internet. Stay with me. Because once we break this down, you might realize she just pulled off the classiest social media split of 2025. Sophie is well raised, she's very good, she might change with these weirdo girls. Sophie Manassian has always stood out not just because of her dance skills or viral choreography, but because of how normal she seems in a world full of influencers chasing clout. And yet, for the past year, fans have been side eyeing the company she keeps. The flashy outfits, the older guys, the wild TikToks. It all clashed with the Sophie her fans grew up loving. Now, fans are noticing something very different, and it's not just the outfits. Let's start with what isn't happening. In Sophie's latest videos, one thing is missing. Actually, a lot of things are missing. Where's Amelia? Where's Thomas? Where's the whole group that was once glued to her content? Sophie mostly dresses so elegantly. The others dress like trendy American Gen Z. That's the sentiment echoing across her comment sections. Her content suddenly solo or with totally new faces. She mainly does solo videos these days, and there are even more new faces. And if you think that's a coincidence, let's keep digging. The timeline doesn't lie. Sophie's last collab with Amelia, April 28th. The repost on Amelia's channel, May 8th. But originally, Sophie had already posted that same video on February 23rd. That's over 2 months ago. Since then, radio silence. No new content together, no Instagram tags, no behind the scenes clips, not even a casual comment. And it's not just Amelia, Nevada, Thomas, even Elsa. None of them have shown up in Sophie's orbit lately. So, what happened? Fans have been raising red flags for a while now, and it's not just speculation anymore. The internet's been watching and they've picked up on more than just the vibe. It's about the subtle cues, the questionable associations, and the people who consistently cross the line while Sophie quietly stays on the opposite end of it. Take Amelia, for example. Amelia frequently hangs out with older boys, trying too hard to fit into an adult world. At just 16, Amelia's entire online presence seems geared toward presenting a version of herself that's older than she really is. From her wardrobe choices to the people she surrounds herself with. It's raised eyebrows, sparked debates, and made a lot of viewers uncomfortable. Then there's Thomas Wu. Thomas Wu, a 25-year-old man, almost 26, hanging around teenage girls. A grown man constantly appearing in videos with teenage influencers. It doesn't sit right with a lot of people, and for good reason. The age gap alone sets off alarms, but it's the normalization of this behavior that truly disturbs longtime fans. And in the middle of all this, Sophie, remaining poised, staying out of the controversy. But when a boba themed video went up and Sophie didn't tag Amelia, who's practically known for her obsession with boba, the internet exploded. Sophie hasn't even tagged her in the video. Most of the top comments were about giving the boba to Amelia. And this wasn't a one off oversight. Sophie has always been consistent with crediting collaborators, tagging everyone from her most famous co stars to the most obscure guests in her videos. So, when Amelia's name was missing, it felt intentional. The comment section noticed immediately, calling out the absence and speculating about what it meant. And let's be real, on social media, silence is loud, especially when it comes from someone as deliberate and composed as Sophie Manassyan. And this subtle shift didn't go unnoticed. It never does when the internet is watching. Here's what's wild about the whole situation. Sophie never announced anything. There was no grand declaration, no tweet storm, no TikTok expose, no dramatic unfollowing spree or shade filled captions. Instead, she just moved on. She's now collaborating with different people, Her recent content shows her spending time with completely new faces, faces that aren't entangled in drama, people who seem more aligned with her calm, creative, and respectful online persona. And while that might seem like a simple creative shift to some longtime followers, know that this was probably a deliberate decision. Sophie has always been admired for keeping a clean and respectable image. She's built a brand around being graceful, talented, and grounded, a rare trifecta for a Gen Z influencer. And the way she handled this quiet transition speaks volumes about her maturity. What's got everyone wondering though is whether or not Sophie actually listened to the fans. Because the timing is too perfect. The content shift came just after fans and creators started voicing concerns. The distancing from the problematic friends happened just as videos critiquing her circle were going viral. If she did watch, and if she did make this change based on community feedback, then Sophie didn't just pivot. She rebranded, rebuilt, and refocused, all without saying a word. And that might just be the most graceful pivot we've seen from a teen influencer in years. So, why are people so deeply invested in all of this? Because this isn't just another teen drama or fleeting internet moment. It's a case study in how to navigate fame, pressure, and public perception and still maintain your integrity. Most influencers Sophie's age lean into the chaos. They chase virality even if it means losing control of their image. But Sophie, she's done the opposite. She's stayed consistent, graceful, and composed. And in doing so, she's shown that you don't need to be loud to make a statement. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. When most teens in her position would chase clout, Sophie chose something else, her peace, and that choice resonates with so many viewers who are tired of seeing influencers spiral. This isn't just smart PR, it's self respect. And in an era where attention is currency, Sophie's move to walk away from toxicity might just be the most valuable thing she's ever done. And who knows, it might be the smartest move of her entire career. So, what do you think? Was this a silent breakup with her friend group, or are we just overanalyzing like the internet always does? Or maybe, just maybe, this was a young creator taking control of her story before anyone else could write it for her. Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives like this one, hit subscribe because this is just the start of Sophie's next chapter, and it looks like she's writing it on her own terms.